Welcome to How to Take Effective Notes when Learning Chinese. We all know that taking notes while learning Chinese is very important. But how do we take effective notes? Well, the first step is to use a pen and paper instead of an electronic device such as your computer. When taking notes by hand, our brain activities will be higher than when using laptops. Therefore, simply taking notes on paper will help you gain a better conceptual understanding. You might argue, yes, I know that, but if I typed with the computer, I could take far more notes than if I wrote on paper. This is correct. I won't argue with you because we know that typing is faster than writing. However, this is not the case when it comes to studying Chinese. Unlike English, Chinese has 4 tones. The first tone is flat, the second is rising, the third is falling rising, and the fourth is falling. Each tone has its own symbol, and we write these symbols directly on top of the Chinese pinyin, which corresponds to the English alphabet. For example, the pinyin A looks precisely like the English letter A, but the sound is entirely different. And with the 4 tones, this pinyin can be flat, A, rising, A, falling rising, A, and falling, A. When using a computer, entering the pinyin with the tones can be really complicated. You will have to modify your keyboard settings and memorize certain combinations of each tone. And believe it or not, there are more than 20 combinations. In contrast, if you grab a pen and a notebook, it will take you less than a second to write down the same pinyin with the tones. And also, as we said at the beginning of our video, taking notes will help you comprehend the material better. Perhaps you have another thought, that is, what if I just typed the pinyin without the tones? Well, let me explain why this is not a good idea. In Chinese, words can mean completely different things with different tones, even though the spelling is exactly the same. Let me provide you some examples. The combination of the letters M and A. When it has the first tone, which is flat, it is Ma, which means mom. While if it had the third tone, which is the falling rising, it will be Ma, which indicates the horse. So, Ma and Ma, they share the identical spelling, and the only difference is the tone. So if you typed the pinyin without the tones, you would miss the most important message about the words. The second example is my student's real-life experience. One of my students told me she asked for salt in a bar, but got cigarettes instead. This was because she used yan with the flat tone, which means cigarettes, instead of yan with the rising tone, which means salt. Therefore, taking notes on the tones of each word is very, very important if you want to avoid misunderstanding other people or being misunderstood by other people. So, make sure you use a pen and paper to take notes when you are learning Chinese because it will help you understand more of what you are learning, save you time searching for tones on computers, and avoid confusion over the pinyin with different tones.